Welcome. Let's get going here, guys. My computer made me do a reboot, and I was sitting back trying to get in for the last 10 minutes. So I thank you guys for your patience, and let's get moving along. Out of respect for you guys this time. Um, it's the new year, guys. I'm going to go back to the basics right now, and the reason I want to go back to the basics because the basics are important for absolutely everybody. Myself, you guys, everybody. In fact, when I go back and I review the basics, it helps me understand better what you guys are in need of. And so I'm going to do a little screen sharing today. I'm going to do a little bit of underwriting stuff today. I really want to take you guys back to like the basics of our business model and share with you guys why it works. For those of you guys that don't know my background and story, I know that there's a lot of people we've marketed that are brand new to this call. I'll just give you a real quick run through of who I am, and then you can just Google me. I'm everywhere. One of the big things, guys, is I got started doing this in 1998 after the FTC shut down a multi-level marketing company that I had been working with for 5.5 years. I sucked at it. I got good at leasing desk space, and then I got good at the company after about 3 years in, going broke, and I became a top money earner with the company. FTC shut us down. We just grew too fast. Is what happened. We couldn't fix our growing pains quick enough, and the founder landed up getting shut down by the FTC. So, anyways, 1998, I opened up a concrete company in sheer need of just making some money, and it kind of happened by accident. But I'll tell you that that accident turned into a 28-year career. And within 12 months of starting that company, I started investing in real estate because real estate was a tangible asset, man. It was as simple as that. It was like I got a house, I'm gonna own it. I'm not gonna lose all my shit again, like I did in 1997. And so I started just buying houses, and I hated being a landlord. It sucked in the residential sector. I had nothing but problems. I was not making money in my single family rentals, so I sold them. And before I sold them, I started building houses, and I was like, shit, there's money in this. And so I was making like 80 grand a house at that time. And then I got it perfected where I was making about 110 grand a house net in like 2000. And then I started doing like over a dozen of these a year in just 2 short years. And so I didn't create this business model for you guys. I just want to make this understood. I created this business model for me, and it was kind of an accident. You know, there's a little luck involved in success. God kind of led me across the right path, right? And I didn't realize how good my business model was until the 2008 recession, guys. When the 2008 recession hit, we were building retail centers ground up. I got into the ground up game on commercial retail back in 2000. In 2000, I was buying value add stuff, and I was doing it all through owner financing because my credit sucked. When we got shut down by the FTC, my credit went to a 460 credit score, and my credit just got trashed. And so I had office leases all over the country, rentals of furniture, houses that they got taken away, and so I was struggling, right? And so I had this attitude. I had nothing to lose, everything to gain. I felt like I'd already lost everything, so I was like, screw it. Let me just put my balls to the wall and let's just friggin' Annie up and let's fucking go to work. And that's what I did. And to my benefit, it fucking worked. And we kicked ass, and we've been kicking ass. And in 2008, my dad had been doing my accounting. My dad was an accountant for 32 years. He did my accounting all the way until about 2016. And in 2008, I thought we had fire sold a bunch of houses. And to my correction, my dad told me no. He goes, "You have a tax bill that you owe, and you got to ante up on it because this is the amount you owe." And I said, "There's no friggin' way." I fire sold all the houses, and he said, "Nope, you didn't." He said, "You made profits on every single one of them." I said, "There's no friggin' way." And so we went back to the books, and the lowest that we made on any house, even after we fire sold them, was $48,000. Second lowest was like $52,000, and I was like, "Shit, I need to go back in." This was about April of 2009, May of 2009, and I went back to all my subcontractors and I said, "Hey guys, look, I'm going to keep building houses, but we're going to change the business model. I'm not going to pay you what you guys bid the projects at. I know what your margins are at. I had already been in the business for 10 years. So I knew where their margins were. We were doing like 60, 70 units a year. And so we learned, what our margins were and where their margins were over the course of time because we were getting different bids from different companies. And so some of the subcontractors told me to go pound sand. I said, hasta luego, have a good day. Thank you for being here. I'll find somebody else. And I came in and I didn't let them bid my projects. I told them what I was willing to pay them. They either had an opportunity to say yes or no. And I said, if you say yes, You're not going to make what you were making before, but I'm going to feed you. And we're going to get you through this recession. You're going to be able to pay your employees. And we're all going to get through this together. And I'll help you guys do it. I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'll keep building houses. And so that's what we did. And there was companies out there like Johnny's Electric, South Valley Construction that was doing my drywall, Hector Cabrero that was doing all my stucco work. And you know, we were doing our own foundations, our own tractor work, and it worked. And we started turning about $80,000-$90,000 in profits. By that time, we were making about $130,000 per house, guys. And we by the end of 2009, moving into 2010, we were building about 12 homes a year, and that's all we wanted to build. We've never built more than that since then. And so by 2010, we started making about $115,000 a house again, and we did it through the sheer means of just reducing down our budget, and increasing the quality in the interim time, guys. And I want you guys to pay attention to these stories, because I learned from these stories, and I want you guys to pay attention because you guys will learn from them too. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. Neela will benefit from it. Burdette will benefit from it. Euro will benefit from it. Jason will benefit from it. Damien will benefit from it. Everybody will benefit from it. Okay. So one of the things, and this is the biggest demise to companies when there's an economic recession or economic circumstances that go against us. You guys saw it during the pandemic, for those of you guys that are younger, and for those of you guys that are and those of you guys that are older and got a chance to go through the 1998 recession, those of you guys that got to go through the Reagan administration in the 1980s, the 1990s, 2008 recession, and the pandemic, you guys all know what I'm talking about here. That when things compress, companies make modifications that otherwise they feel save them money, instead of working on the quality and workmanship and craftsmanship of what they're doing. Okay. Now, to my benefit, because I'm not a genius here, guys. Through the good means of good mentorship, good friends, colleagues that were older, more mature than me, had been through this before, I paid attention to them with a little bit of resistance, because that's what we do as human beings, is we resist, especially when we've had some success. Sometimes dealing with people with a little bit of success is harder than dealing with people with no success, because they're friggin' stubborn. And I was that person. And I remember doing business with a buddy of mine named Bob. And Bob owned a company called Red Sky Realty. He was right down the road from me. We were both developing real estate on Route 66 in the old part of our area. And everything that had been renovated on that road was either renovated by me or Bob. And Bob and I would go have lunch like once a month. And we would share contacts. We just stayed. It was like a friendly competition. Bob is 20 years my senior. And Bob told me, he goes, look, and this is what I want you guys to explain to you guys in 2025, because we're not still through this economic I shouldn't even call it an economic downturn, this economic whirlwind that we've been in for the last 2 years. Okay. So look, we sat down, Bob and I bought a building together. He said, let's partner up on a building, Jerome. I never really partnered with people. I hated partnering with people. I was successful doing my own stuff. Every time I partnered with people, I landed up frustrated with them. They landed frustrated with me because I'm too aggressive and I want shit done my way, and because I feel like my way was good. I respected Bob, though. You know, Bob was 20 years my senior, and when we went in and started renovating this building, it was a freaking building, guys. I had already built and renovated a shit ton of buildings and retail centers. I already owned 1 million square feet of retail at that time, and I still own that same 1 million square feet of retail today, with the exception of a few small retail buildings that I had built at that time that I sold. Now, Bob talked to me about quality, and he said, Jerome, let's go in, let's do a damn highest quality job renovating these buildings. I'll sell them. You worry about renovating them, putting them together, and getting everything done with your crews. I'll sell them. I'll just worry about finding a buyer for us. And I said, okay, cool. And so I went in, I started renovating these buildings. I went in and I did shit like I would go in with like a $2.59 piece of wood flooring for the inside of these commercial buildings that weren't leased, weren't owned. We didn't even know if they were going to keep them. And Bob and when I came to him and I left those at his office, I left him like 3 samples between like $259 and $299 a square foot. I thought those were great floors. And he came back and he dropped another piece of flooring off at my office, and it was freaking $6 a square foot. Mind you, this is the 2009 post-recession, when the market sucked, guys. And so I'm sitting back and I'm going, no shit. I told Tammy in my office, who still works for me today, she's like, I go, I ain't freaking putting that shit in those buildings. I said, that's $6 a square foot. That's ridiculous. We don't need to put that in the building. And then Bob goes, Jerome, just put it in there. And then we're getting ready to stucco the building. He goes, did you insulate it? And I said, no, we're going to make it look beautiful. He said, no, insulate it. And we insulated it. He goes, we're going to roof it. He goes, did you put insulation on the roof? I said, no, but we're re-roofing the whole building. He goes, insulate the roof too. We're going to get this thing with an R value where it's energy efficient, brand new heating, brand new cooling. And I resisted a little bit on all of it. And then I said, fuck it, I'm going to do it Bob's way on this one building. If it doesn't work, I'll never do this shit again. Mind you, within 3 weeks of that building being finished, we had it under contract, and we made over $100,000 profit on a little like 2,500 square foot retail building. Just this little bullshit building in the middle of the recession, guys. And I was like, no friggin' way. It took us 60 days to renovate and turn. It was like a quick flip. And I was like, okay, I'm going to listen to Bob on this next one. We did about a handful of those together, and I started implementing that exact same mentality in all my homes. Instead of, I switched my demographical area. I went to a slightly more affluent area, and I had less impact fees in that area because it was more rural. And I just pivoted a little bit. And the money that I took away from the subcontractors, I put into the quality of the product. And I took that, I put it into better toilets, better countertops, better windows. Or not even better windows. I shouldn't say that. It wasn't better windows. It was better countertops, better tile, better light fixtures, better plumbing fixtures. So that when people walked in that house, they knew, sophisticated buyers, they knew that the shit we did was better, higher quality than anybody else on the market. Mind you, I'm a broker. I've been a broker since 2000. And I have the capabilities of going in with my Supra key to every other builder's house next to me. And I go ding into their homes all the time, guys, all the times. And I'd see all this bullshit Home Depot, crap garbage, piece of shit toilets, and all these piece of shit Glacier Bay light fixtures and all this garbage in their houses. And I was like, I'm gonna freaking ream these guys. I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna clean house. That house is gonna sit on the market. It's not gonna get sold. I'm gonna build right next door to these guys. I'm gonna price the houses the same price these guys are doing them for, and I'm gonna give these guys quality. But I'm gonna move volume. And we're only doing 12 homes a year, guys. But the quality sold it because our demographics. We don't deal with bullshit buyers that are entry level buyers, guys. And not that they're bullshit, guys. Those people need homes. All I'm saying is that a drowning person can't save a drowning person, meaning that if you're financially drowning or you're in a position where you need to make some friggin' money, well, then you need to go in and pay attention. You need to pay attention to yourself first. Then after you've went in, you paid attention to your personal finances, then and only then can you go in and fix everything around you. So you go in and you position yourself around a demographical area where people have money. Plain and simple, guys. You don't go in after a bunch of broke ass people, first time home buyers. Those people don't afford your ability to get on dry land. Those people, leave them to the DR Hortons of the earth. Leave those people to the Pulte's, the Lennar Homes, the big builders. Let those guys build for those guys, because those build guys are building in mass volume. So if those guys make 40, 50, $60,000 a unit, they're building thousands upon thousands upon thousands of units nationwide every single year. So if they're building 15,000 homes, 20,000 homes, 40,000 homes a year, let those guys take that profit. You have to focus on you. And the demographics that you need to focus on is the upper middle class. It has to be the demographics of people that have money. Okay. And so that is first and foremost the single most important area that you need to focus on. People that have money. Now, when we talk about this, guys, when we're talking about this, I'm telling you guys this for a specific reason. Okay. I'm going to go over this with you guys, and I'm going to go over of some areas that you guys live in. Okay. Now, when we go in and we're looking at residential properties, guys, I want you guys to tell me, where are you guys from? Give me the areas you guys are from. I see phone numbers. I see Ryan Harold's phone number on there. Dallas, Ohio, Orlando, Florida. Hey, baby. Alabama, Colorado, Utah, Michigan, Chicago, Tijuana. Damn, okay. Killeen, Texas, Oregon, Tennessee, Minnesota, Hawaii, Los Angeles, Corpus Christi, San Diego, Atlanta, Boston. Where else, guys? Albuquerque, New Jersey, Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, New York, Nashville. Nashville's an interesting area. Let's Let's take a look at Nashville, guys. Let's take a look at Nashville real quick. Nashville kind of interests me because it's kind of a sleeping, it's kind of a quiet giant. I think that like Tallahassee's a quiet giant. I think that like Jacksonville is a quiet giant. I think that Nashville is a quiet giant. I think that Knoxville's a quiet giant. I think that areas in Alabama are quiet giants. Texas is not really quiet, but it's a giant, that's for sure. And there, but prices are still relatively reasonable. Hey, Precious, how was school? Good. Yeah, real good. I love you. And so let's take a look at some of these areas that are kind of quiet giants that nobody talks about. Okay, let's look at Nashville because Nashville's kind of like an interesting city. I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and let's take a look at this demographics, guys. Let me share my screen. Let's take a look at Nashville, Tennessee. Okay. You know what? Let's look at suburb areas. Um, what is a good suburb area in Tennessee, right outside of Nashville, guys? Let's see. Suburb as well. Nashville, right? Oops. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, let me click on Google. Let's go in here. Now, we're not looking for the wealthiest areas, guys. Let me make sure that you guys understand this. We're not going in after the wealthiest people, okay? Because the wealthy think residents over like 1.2, $1.3 million, guys, that only constitutes for 2% of home buyers across the nation. There's not enough of them, is the problem. So if you go in after the wealthiest, you're going to land up being in a place of financial distress if the market tanks on you because you're not going to be able to sell it because there's not enough wealthy people out there. Now you got the people that are competing with the Joneses that want to live around the wealthy people, but really can't afford to live around the wealthy people. So when the market compresses, those people that you would normally be selling to that shouldn't be living with around the wealthy people but want to are no longer buyers of yours anymore. So the market pool is very low. So the upper demographics of the upper middle class, guys, upper middle class, we want to focus on homes in excess of $500,000. I would say stay no lower than 600,000. And you should pay attention to houses less than 1.2 million. Okay. Now I'll tell you the sweet spots about that 700 to $900,000 range. It's your largest profitable area. But let's take a look. Okay. So wealthiest areas in or buy areas by Nashville, around Nashville. Okay. Bella made Greens Valley. Let's go. Let's look in here. Mount Julius, Brentwood, suburb with expensive homes, Forest Hills. Okay. Now you guys should be doing this in your own area. Okay. And the reason why is because if you guys go in and you guys do this in your own area, you guys are going to go in and find. Okay, now let's go in and let's go to Zillow.com. Okay, so we've got some of the areas here: Prim Springs, Milton, Spring Valley, Rockvale. There's some areas right around here. Okay, so let's go in and let's do Redfin. Okay. What I'm showing you guys is what you guys need to be doing in your area. We're going to talk about money, financing, how to get money on these things, guys. I know a lot of people on here sitting back going, Jerome, I'm financially restricted. I can't afford to live in $1 million home myself. I know that I can't get into an $800,000 home. How do I get a construction loan? How do I get a contractor? I have no experience. I know that those are all questions from every single person that's on here that's limited in those areas. And those questions are perfect because those are the people that should be paying attention the most. Because I'm going to go over all of those, all of the answers to every single one of those questions as we move through this today. But we're going to start off with the basics, guys. Remember, we're going back to the basics as to what areas, because the biggest issue that I've had in our inner community is that they get confused. Everybody wants to play it safe. They want to go in and go into the lower demographical areas. The lower demographical areas, they don't have a pot to piss in, guys. Don't be going in and selling broke people Mercedes-Benz. They can't afford them. Sell them a Toyota. Sell them a Scion, or I don't even know if Scion's still around, or a Kia or whatever. You know, give them a good quality car. Get those people into that. We want to focus with people that demographically have money, right? That's how you get money. The biggest issue with what we do here today, guys, and by the way, guys, how many people are not from the United States? How many of you guys are immigrants on here? Just say me. If you're an immigrant, you're not from, if you didn't go through our U.S., let me rephrase that. If you're an immigrant that did not go through our U.S. education system and came in as an adult or later in year, just put me in the chat. Want to get a feel. Okay, Christopher, me, iPhone, Teresa. Cool. Okay, you guys have a benefit over the people that are from the United States, okay? And some of you guys have heard me say this before, and I'm going to say it again. Our U.S. education system was built by the Rockefellers, guys. It was built by entrepreneurs, not for entrepreneurs. It was built by entrepreneurs for working class people to teach you guys how to be great employees, okay? So to the benefit of immigrants, if you ask everybody, like Alfredo, Esther, do me a favor. Unmute Alfredo real quick. Let's talk to Calvin. Calvin just popped in. Or I don't know, and I don't know if Calvin's not from here or not, but let's talk to Alfredo. Let's unmute him. Alfredo, I'm unmuting you, bro. Why did you come to America? Why did you come into America? Esther, you unmuting these people?
Yes.
How about Isaac? If you guys are embarrassed to talk, no problem. Just don't be embarrassed. Isaac's iPhone. Unmute Isaac's iPhone. I want to talk to a few people that are not from here. Unmute Isaac and Chance. Chance's iPhone.
Them to unmute right now.
What's that?
I'm asking them to unmute.
To unmute? Okay. Unmute, suckers. Just joking. Come on, guys. Join me in here. Don't be bashful. Those who participate make more money. Okay? Let the world see you. Embrace it. I tell my kids, throw your ass in front of a stage of 1,000 people. As a kid, it empowers you. Okay, Chance, how about Oscar? Oscar, you want to unmute? You're going to get anybody? It doesn't matter if you even have an accent. I don't care if you have an accent. Even better. I'll put money on you guys. I'm batting for you guys. Are none of them answering your request, Esther?
No, I'm actually clicking it twice to make sure they receive.
Okay, how about Okay, how about Millie? Let's talk to Millie. Teresa Venegas. Unmute a couple of these people. Let them come in.
Oh, I came.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good.
I came
Who is
for
this?
Yes, Millie.
Millie, how are you, Millie? Millie, where are you from?
Uganda.
Uganda? Why did you come to America?
I came to study and to make a better life.
Okay, you didn't come for hamburgers and French fries? You didn't come for our American greasy food?
I came for a better life to better my whole family here.
You didn't come for Chicago-style pizza or New York-style pizza?
No.
You didn't come to watch the New York Yankees?
No, I don't even know them.
Okay. You came for opportunity, to better the
Yes,
lives of your family. Okay.
yes,
And
yes.
you will better the lives of your family. You know why? Because
Amen.
we live in the land of opportunity, guys. Still, with as many problems as the United States has, as corrupt as our politics are, we still live in the best country in the United States as far as capitalism, entrepreneurship, free enterprise. And I'll tell you that we don't take advantage of it. And the people that are born and raised here were born into an education system where we go from kindergarten to 12th grade, and we don't get 1 hour spent on teaching us about finances, about money, about lending. And so, to our dispowerment, these other people that come from Uganda, that come from Mexico, that come from Canada, that come from China, these people come in ready to learn. And they're sitting back going, I'm going to get to America, the land of opportunity, and I'm going to figure this shit out for me and for my family. I'll go in, my wife will go in and get her nails done in a nail salon with all Vietnamese. Not one of them speaks friggin' English. And these people are driving Mercedes Benz and they're friggin' killing it. They don't even know how to speak a damn lick of English. I had a young lady that came in um, from Africa too. She was from not Uganda. She was from hey babe, where was a sister from? Where's sister and nice and all them from? Ghana. They're from Ghana. And this girl, I put her in one of my Subway stores. And I put her in one of my Subway stores, and she just showed up every day. And she barely spoke English, guys. I didn't even think about the currency thing. I didn't even think about money. I stuck her behind a freaking cash register. One of my managers, Ivans, calls me up and he says, "Hey, Jerome, this girl you hired, she can't even count friggin' US money." He goes, "What are we doing with her?" I said, "Bro, give her a chance. Teach her how to count money. She's friggin' sharp. She has a degree she has a degree from Ghana. Just give her a chance. She's sharp. I like her a lot." And within 30 days, she was sharper than any friggin' employee in that store. Within 90 days, she was a manager of one of my Subway stores. When I sold all my Subway stores, she became a regional manager. Her husband got his degree. They moved to North Carolina, and she got a job as a regional director for a Subway franchisee that was running was like 3 times as big as I was. We had like 15 stores. He had like 50 stores, and she was running all of them. She was his main person. And you guys might not think that that's impressive, but when you come in as an immigrant, you start making 6 figures in less than 2 years. That's something, guys. That is a great opportunity because she didn't think in perspective to the way our American education teaches us. She thought outside the box. So today I'm going to rub you guys the wrong way when it comes to money and it comes to understanding finances, because banking and lending is made for you guys. But you guys just don't know how it works. You guys think that you guys have to pour cash out of your pockets. That's not the way it works, guys. You find value in how you create equity into your bills. Okay, so those that are immigrants, I'm going to teach you guys something that you guys will probably get right away. Those of you guys that went through our bullshit education system, you guys are going to be stressed a little bit to have to hear this probably 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, 15 freaking times before you get it, because you guys didn't have the fortunate opportunity of learning this stuff in school, and it goes against the grain of what you guys are learned to be taught to be good employees. Okay, now let's go in here, guys. I was looking at something here on my phone, and we go in, guys. I'm just looking for houses. Look at this, 659. That's a brand new house. That thing is simple as all get out. Now watch what I do, guys. Get your guys' phones out. You guys need them right now. Take a look at this house over on Vincent Drive in Nashville, $659,000. Okay, that's only a 1,953 square foot home. So divided by 1953. That's $337 a square foot. The reason I singled that one out is because I knew just by looking at it, it was small square footage, nice retail price. Okay, so $337 per square foot. Okay, pay attention to the per square foot number. You can't make money under $280 a square foot, guys. Every single area has houses where the upper middle class live, and it's the houses that sell for an excess of $280 per square foot, okay, that you want to pay attention to. Now understand that the higher the square footage goes, the lower the price per square foot goes. So if you get into a 4,000 square foot house, the price per square foot goes down. Now you still make a profit, but you have to put more out to bring that money in. Okay. So my whole thing is, how do I get the largest bandwidth of profitability with the lowest risk, right? How do I go in and reduce my risk, but increase my profitability? Okay. That's what's in my brain is I'm going, okay, how do I get more for less? How do I go in and mitigate my risk by building something smaller, but positioning myself for larger profits? So when you get to a house that's too small, the price per square foot is really good, but the overall price might be attracting the wrong buyer, and your profitability, because the house is so small and because the profit still, because the price is so small, even though the square footage price is good, may not be the most profitable because now you compressed your profits because you went too small with a house. So if you go too small with a house and yes, your price per square foot is good, you still position yourself for smaller profits. So there's like this sweet spot between not the smallest house, but definitely not the biggest house, because the biggest house, the price per square foot gets compressed. The smallest house, the price per square foot looks good, but the overall price is too small, so your profitability is compressed. You don't want to compress profitability, and you don't want to compress price per square foot. You want to look for the best bandwidth of profit between the right size home that has the right profitability at the right acquisition price, hitting the right demographics, guys, because hitting the right demographics at the right acquisition price gives you a large enough profitability and enough room, wiggle room for error. So if you screw shit up on your first build, you got enough profitability in there to make it up. And that's the way I started my construction company, not knowing anything about construction, is I would go in and I'd bid projects, and I was like, I would tell my girlfriend at the time, who's my wife today, I would tell her, she goes, do you even know how to bid it? It was funny. We were having dinner on New Year's Day at our house, and my mother-in-law was telling my son at dinner, she goes, your dad was funny. I remember when he came to the house, and he goes, I'm going to start a concrete company. And she goes, Mijo, do you know anything about concrete? And she goes, she's telling my son this. And your daddy told me, no, I don't know nothing about concrete, but I'm going to find other people that know something about concrete. I'm going to hire them and I'm going to put them to work, she told him. And then she goes, well, do you know how to bid it? And she goes, and your daddy told me, no, but I'll just bid it high enough that I'll have enough money in there that I'll figure it out. And it was good for my kids to hear that, because they didn't hear that back in those days. And I remember sitting in their couch when I would talk to them, and they probably thought I was friggin' a lunatic. But here we are today, and now they sit back and they're proud. My father-in-law was a business professor, and he'd use all my business stories as part of his education at a university level, all right, as a director of business. Now, understand, guys, that when you guys go in here, you have to understand that when you're doing this, you have to be able to go after an acquisition where you have so much profitability, even if you screw shit up, you have enough room for error and you could still make money. That's where this business model comes from. Okay. So at $337 per square foot, you'll make some money on that house, guys. Now, when we go in, let's see, 575 at 27, that one's not good. Okay. Now, when we go in, someone sent me a message here that's from Tennessee, I think. They said, look at Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Rockville. Okay. They sent me a listing. Let's go through a couple of these, and then I'll pull up the listings they sent me over in Tennessee as well. Okay. Oh, look at this. New construction. That's too big. 2.7 million. That's just way too big. 4,800. Too high risk, guys. You don't want to put yourself out there that big. Okay. Okay. 699. Oh, that one's not bad. 2,200 square feet for 700 grand. So $700,000 divided by 2236. That's $313 a square foot. Okay. I like that. Okay. I like that. That's a good price per square foot. It's over 300 bucks. It meets my bottom threshold. These 350, all these small homes, don't even mess with them, guys. They're just too small. Now, you guys might be able to go into a subdivision like this. Now, depending on how much the land costs. Now, anytime you see homes for this type of acquisition price, the dirt's also going to be very expensive. Okay. Now, it's okay to pay a lot for dirt, but if the dirt's $500,000 and you can't sell $1 million home with a $500,000 piece of dirt, right? So there's a threshold to reason. The percentage that you guys want to look at is you never want the dirt to cost more than 25% of the overall value of the house. 20% is a sweet spot. If you can get a piece of dirt for 20% of the overall resale value of the house, you're in a really good place. Okay. You're going to make some money on the dirt. So some people say, well, dirt's 200 grand a lot. Who cares? As long as it's 20%, but you have to sell $1 million home. Okay. Now, 509 for 920 square feet. That's good. This must be like a condo, right? Townhome. Okay. Is this good stuff, guys? Are you guys learning something here as you guys are watching me when I'm going over this stuff? Is this stuff helpful? Jack, is this stuff helpful? Yes? Okay. I can read Jack's lips there. You can unmute Zach. Irma Ortiz. Irma, is this helpful? Is this stuff helpful? Going through price per square foot? Yeah? Okay. Cool. Nila? Is this helpful, Nila? Yeah? Okay. Cool. Make sure that I'm hitting this for you guys. I'm going down to the basics, guys. This is the biggest challenge most people have. Okay, this is a big home right here, but even the price per square foot is good. It's 5,000 square feet. It's 1.9 million, just a little too big for our business model. Poses a little too much risk on you guys. Okay, coming soon. I like this one. Coming soon. That means it's a new build. It's 745. So $745,000 over on Columbia Avenue. $745,000 divided by 2,078 square feet. That's $358 a square foot. Okay, per square foot. Okay. Now, so I'm going through it and I'm going to go to these areas, guys. When I find these listings, I'm going to go to these areas. I'm going to get off my damn computer. I'm going to drive down and I'm going to go visit these areas. Okay. 799. Look at these little houses here. $800,000 for 1914. Okay, this is in Nashville. I'd say get out of Nashville and just go like a little bit more suburb areas, guys. You get into the suburbs, it's good. Now, look at this. There's some older homes around. Because see this house right here on Davidson in Nashville. This is a little older. This is infill. It's a little bit bigger than what I want you guys to be building, but not too far out of our business model. $1,700,000 is a little bit larger acquisition price. It was probably a tear down, rebuild, but $1,700,000 divided by 3379. That's a $500 per square foot, 503 per square foot. This is probably a prime area in a redeveloping area in Nashville. Okay. Now, I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, guys. This is important. Okay. Some of this stuff is garbage. Oh, look at this. This is new construction. $875,000 divided by 2,093. Okay. That's 418 a square foot. Okay. There's another listing here. You guys can look this one up if you guys want. It's 444 East College. Getting these sent over to me. East College in Murfreesboro, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. It's if you guys want to Google, it's 444 East College in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Okay, so we looked at these. Let's look at these ones that people are sending me. I got a few people sending these over to me. Let's look at this. 444. And you guys can do this in your own area. These are just suburb areas that a little bit wealthier people. Now, what you guys are looking for is not just wealthy people, guys. You're looking for the engineers that got their degree. They're working as engineers. They're making $200,000 a year. The wife maybe is a PA, a physician assistant. Maybe she's making 200 grand a year. So now you got a household income of over 400,000 a year. You're not looking for the houses that are being bought by the teachers, by the postmen. You're not buying houses from the people that work for FedEx or UPS. You're not looking for houses that are purchased by people that work at the grocery store or Costco. You're not looking for those type of buyers. The buyers you're looking for are the people that are attorneys, that they're not rich, but they're doing better financially. You're looking for the doctors. You're looking for the nurses. You're looking for the PAs. You're looking for the self-employed plumbers, the self-employed concrete guys, the self-employed electrical guys, the people that are the people that have higher, more affluent incomes, the scientists that got degrees. You're looking for these people. And the reason you're looking for these people, because these people can afford $7, $8, $9, $100,000 homes. Now, you're not going to get a scientist that's making 300 grand a year moving into a tract home subdivision that's on the lower end of the spectrum for $350,000. These guys are going to move into the upper middle class sectors. They're going to send their kids to better schools. They're going to send their kids to private education. They're going to live in slightly more affluent neighborhoods with more security and are safer neighborhoods. Are they not? Aren't you guys going to live in those neighborhoods? How many of you guys are going to live in those neighborhoods? If you're making $500,000 a year with a combined income, how many of you guys are going to move to a better neighborhood? Just say yes in the chat if you guys are going to move to a better neighborhood. Those are your buyers, guys. Those are your buyers. Okay. So we go into, this is perfect. So we go in, these are the people. So East College. Murph was, Murph. I don't know how to pronounce that right. Frisborough. Okay. 444. Let's look at this thing. Well, it looks like an infill lot. That looks like the one in the picture. This house right here. It must have been a big renovation. Okay, so let's go back right here and let's look at this listing. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this was a big renovation, guys. It looks like it's almost a completely new renovation on this house. But look at the price per square foot on this area. If you do $1,350,000 divided by 2933, that's going to be $460 a square foot with a 1,350,000 divided by 2933. Yeah, 460 a square foot. Okay, they sent me another one here. This one's new construction, it looks like. This is a 3,400 square foot house. This is at 2123. Guys, let's go back in. 2123. 2123. JC TABER Lane. Freeze. 2123. Okay, let's look at this on Zillow. Look at this new construction. Look at all these houses, guys. This is perfect right here. Look at this. Look at this area here. It's all new construction. All these homes are new. These lots are probably close to about 200 grand. This is the trim out on these. And this house is $1,149,000. $1,149,000. And this house, guys, let's use this one as an example. Okay, it's a little bigger than I like, but it's $1,149,000. Okay, divided by 3,454 square feet. 3,454. Okay, that's $332 per square foot. You're going to make some money. Okay. Now, all areas across the United States have areas like this. Now, there's areas and there's exceptions, like Corpus Christi's a little tougher. I got Annabelle down there building. She's making about $80,000 profit on her build. We're doing a beta test with her right now. She's kicking ass, man, by the way. She is managing these things like a beast. I'm so proud of her. Stay-at-home mom, kicking ass, just doing it, making it happen. We got areas like up in Columbus, Ohio, or in Michigan that the fluency is a little bit less, that you're going to be very challenged, similar to what we're seeing over in Corpus Christi. But there's still areas that are affluent, right? There's very few areas like this across the country. Most areas have affluency just like this. Okay, now I'm going to stop my screen share and let's talk numbers. How many of you guys are ready to talk numbers and see how to turn this into profitability? How to go in? How many of you guys would be proud to build something like this? How many of you guys would love to build something like this and have a resume on this on your resume and be able not only just make money doing it, but how many of you guys would love to have that is for ego's sakes? Just sit back and go, damn, I built this. How many of you guys would like to walk your kids through this or your parents through this or your spouse through this and say, I built this right here? How many of you guys would love to have ownership of something like this that you guys are selling for profitability? Let me tell you, you guys are going to go through an emotional roller coaster where you're going to be unsure. That's where most people are right now. Then you're going to be, some people are going to be scared. And they're going to be sitting back going, damn, this is scary. And then you're going to sit back and you're going to get the lot and you're going to be excited, but even more scared because you're going to sit back and go, oh shit, what did I just do? I just tied up a lot. I got my ass on the line. What did I do? Then you're going to start getting closer to getting permits. And now when you start, the second you see that tractor touch that dirt, the excitement goes from here to here. Your elevation of excitement goes way up the second that tractor turns dirt. Because now everything that you've been dreaming of, everything you've been working towards, it's happening. And now it's exciting. But this is where you have to put the most attention into what you're doing. Because that excitement is going to turn into profitability. Because it's houses, guys. It's not like you're going out and rubbing pixie dust and magic rocks together. It's friggin' houses. Okay? So it's that. Now let's take a look. That picture, that little slideshow that was going on there on that house was perfect. Okay, now let me can you guys see my whiteboard? Can you guys see this? Do you guys see that? Okay. Let's go in, guys, and let's show this, let's put this to work. Okay. Now, that house, and let's go on the smaller one. Let's go after the smaller house that was 2,200 square feet. And it was selling for 337. So we had a house that was 2,200 square feet. Because I don't want to get too big here, guys. I don't want to give an example of a 3,400 square foot house. It's $332 a square foot. This other one was 2,200 square feet. So we had 2,230 square feet, 2,230 square feet. Okay, it was multiplied by $337 a square foot. $337 per square foot. Okay, so our retail price on that is going to be 337 times 2230. That one was selling for $751,000. Okay, $751,000. Okay, that fits in our resale. Okay, now some of you guys have seen me do this before. Now, remember, guys, let's say that the land is 20% of the lot, is 20% of the build. So if you have a $750,000 build times 0.20, that's going to take you about $150,000. Okay, that's expensive for a $750,000 build, guys. I wouldn't pay more than $100,000 to $130,000 for the lot. Truth be told, that'd be about as much as I'd pay for a lot. But some people ask me, well, what's a good percentage point, Jerome? And I always tell them about 20% is a good percentage point. Once you go over 20, 25 on bigger homes, it's once you're hitting $1 million, maybe you can hit that. You're still going to make a profit. But if you stay close to that 20%, you're going to have larger profitability. So let's call this about, because I don't want to encourage you guys to spend $150,000 on a $750,000 build. So let's call it $140,000 for the lot. Okay, so the lot price is equivalent to 140. Okay, that's still a lot, guys. Now that's a build-ready lot. Okay, that's a build-ready lot. What I mean by build-ready is that utilities are on the street. That means you have water, maybe sewer. If not, you do a septic tank. That's no problem. But there's water, there's electric, and there's gas. Okay, and there's not major variables. Like you shouldn't have to do retaining walls. You shouldn't have to do shoring because you're in waterways. You go in, you pay full price, like 20% for a lot. It should be a pretty flat lot, or a lot that doesn't need a lot of dirt work on it, other than to build the pad site for the foundation to sit on, which the pad site's going to cost you about 10 grand, or cost your construction loan about 10 grand. Okay, but that's all part of your build cost, which we'll talk about now. So lot price, build cost. Okay, build cost went down. I just got a notification from the National Association of Home Builders. I was reading on their website over the holidays that the national average to build a house right now actually got reduced down to $139 per square foot. I thought it was actually going to go up. Well, we had been at the national average to build a house was $141 a square foot about this time last year. And I've been utilizing that number. And the National Association of Home Builders said that the actual price to build a house right now is actually down by like 6%. And builders are building on average nationwide at $139 a square foot. Now, because we're building a nicer product, there's no way you're going to build this house and hire a general contractor to be able to go in and do it at $139 a square foot. No way, not happening. But so I always tell you guys, underwrite it. You guys can do it at 155. That's about what our costs are. But underwrite it at 165 a square foot, because you're going to have to hire a general contractor if you don't have experience and you don't have the confidence to do it on your own as an owner build. Okay. So with build cost at 165 a square foot, we're going to take build cost is going to be 2230 square feet times $165 per square foot. Okay. Now, you guys, I'm going a little slower on this today. We're about an hour in. How are you guys doing? Is this good information? You guys want me to keep on going? Or do you guys want me to be respectful of your time and stop right now? Or do you guys want me to keep on going? How many of you guys want me to keep on going? You guys want me to keep on going? Okay. Cool. Because my wife's making dinner and it smells good. So I'm happy to go eat dinner. All right? Okay. All right. We'll keep on going. Now, 2230 times 165 is going to be $367,950. Call it $368,000. Okay? So $368,000. Okay? This is your build cost, guys, right here. Now, this includes your architecture, this includes your engineering, this includes your permits, your impact fees, your foundation, your framing package. It includes everything. Okay. Now, if those of you guys are worried about not knowing what that is, this is a spreadsheet, guys. And this spreadsheet right here, I will make available to any single person that's part of our inner circle. Now, to be a part of our inner circle is by application only. We don't take everybody in our inner circle. We do have thousands of people in our community nationwide. It is an attribute to be able to have the luxury and ability to be a part of our inner circle. And one thing that I know about absolutely every single person on this call is that 100% of every person in this call would love to be a part of our inner circle. Unfortunately, we can't have 100% of you guys in here, but for some of you guys will have an opportunity to have this spreadsheet. Now, the other way that you guys get these spreadsheets is to be able to go in and become and join us in San Francisco for our Build Wealth Workshop. And I'll talk about that here in a little bit, where you also get this entire book, but in an ebook form. Okay, this is our A through Z building. So when you guys go in, you guys want to understand like what these costs are. How would you guys like to have an electronic spreadsheet to be able to underwrite this, where you can go in and underwrite all the costs associated with building a house, and that way you don't miss anything. That way, if you don't know what the hell you're doing, at least you have a line item for 100% of absolutely every cost associated with building a house, no matter where you are nationwide. How many of you guys think this would be an attribute to your success by having this? Yeah? 100%. And so we're going to, on February 8th in San Francisco, we're going to have our Build Wealth Workshop. We're going to run through this line item by line item, step by step, for both a single family build and a multifamily build that day. That's part of our workshop. It's an underwriting workshop. Okay. Now, for those of you guys that don't feel comfortable with that, you will after understanding how this spreadsheet works, and it's simple. We put it together where a fifth grader can run through this and understand it. Some fifth graders will do better than some of you adults. Okay. Now, and that's just the truth. Sorry if that's you. That would have been me, by the way. So if you guys are sitting back going, hey, Jerome, don't be so cruel. I'm like, shit, I was going to the short bus I was going to the reading bus because I was dyslexic. So don't feel inferior. I've made millions of dollars and I was one of the dumb kids in school. Okay. So sometimes creativity comes with a little bit of mental distress when you're in school. So to my benefit, I didn't understand a damn thing the teacher said for most of my education. So maybe that's why I'm like the immigrants. I didn't listen for 12 years in school. So because I didn't listen for 12 years in school, I'm like an immigrant, even though I was born here. I didn't understand a damn thing they said in school. So to my benefit, I didn't understand a damn thing. So I didn't listen to a damn thing. So I was able to go out and execute like an entrepreneur and like an immigrant because I couldn't understand what the hell I was going on in school anyways. So to my benefit, guys, I was luckily pulled out of class to go to the reading van because I didn't know how to read because I was dyslexic. Okay. Now, $368,000, our lot cost, $140,000. Okay. Now, when we go in, we have two other costs associated with this build. One is our resale cost to sell it. That's going to be about 6%. you're going to pay about 2.5% to your buyer's broker, 2.5% to your selling broker, and about 1% in escrow fees to sell that house in title. Okay, so if we take $751,000, 751 times 6%, this is going to equal 751K, 751 times 0.06, that's going to equal $45,000. Okay, that's going to equal 45K. Okay, I'm going to circle these in red because I got chicken scratch everywhere. Okay, so we got a resale cost. The other cost is our debt service. Now let's talk about money here for a second. Okay, debt service, let's call it 8%. Okay, on these construction loans, you'll get them for between 6 and 8%. I'd say closer to about 7 or 8%. So if we take, you're not going to have a loan for $751,000. What you're going to do is you're going to take $368,000. Now, how many of you guys would like the bank to pay for the land for you? How many of you guys want the bank to pay for the land for you? Just say yes. Okay, Brian says yes. Joe Gonzalez says yes. Bernadette says yes. Neela's thinking about it. Neela, you want to pay for the land or you want the bank to pay for the land? Bank? All right. Okay. Carol, her screen's off. Okay. Yes, I see. Yes. Going up the. Okay. So here's what we do, guys. We create value in the equity of the bill. Okay. Listen to me here, guys. This is where most people get straddled mentally. Okay. I want you to explain to you guys. There's two ways to pay for this. You come out of pocket with 20% down. Okay. Now my pockets are empty right now. And that's the way a lot of people in America's are right here. Okay. Now, if you have a pocket full of cash, put that damn thing back in your pocket. Don't show them all your cash. You're playing poker, guys. Okay. We're playing poker with the bank. Now, there's an asset. There's an asset in question here. And that asset, guys, that asset is this house, this set of plans. Okay. This is a real house. I just got the permits on this bad boy. Okay. We're building, guys. If you guys think, if you guys say anybody sitting back questioning, well, Jerome's teaching this shit, he ain't doing it. Bullshit. I'm doing it. I do it every day. I'm building an apartment complex. This is an apartment complex right here. This is a house, guys. This is a house. These are real friggin' permits, real designs. In the other room here, I got a big ass set of design for my Rio Rancho development that we're getting ready to turn dirt on here in about 30 days. This one, guys, and I'll even show you guys the permits on this. I just picked these up last week, right in between Christmas. Make sure I don't lose my stuff here. Real set of prints, guys. Real set of homes. This is money, guys. This right here, this is money. This is money. This is what the banks want. Because you turn what's a conceptual project, you turn it into a real tangible product with this set of floor plans, guys. A bank can take this set of floor plans, they can send it to an appraiser, and they can get this set of floor plans, and they can send it off to an appraiser, and an appraiser can take the square footage of the house. They can take the square footage of the house. It's all right here. See, this one right here says heated square footage, 2,684 square feet. Front patio, 189. Rear patio, 527. Garage, 1,001. Total square feet, 4,400 square feet. Okay? That's the build, guys. Now, the bank can go in. They can appraise this thing. Now I have a set of prints, guys. The bank can send this to an appraiser, and you just turned a conceptual project, a simple lot, into a tangible product. This house will sell for $830,000. The lot cost me $100,000. Now, here's the set of permits, guys. That's the permitted set of prints. This is the permits right here. Okay? Google the house, guys. Google it. It's 10 Basket Weaver. Number 10, Basket Weaver. There's nothing there yet. J. Jacob Enterprises is my company. That's me. And 10 Basket Weaver Court. Google it. Follow the progress. That house will go for sale in 6 months from now. We're breaking ground on this house on Thursday this week. We just got these permits on 12/18. They got issued. I just picked them up in between Christmas and New Year's. Okay? Follow the progress. This is one of 2 homes that we're breaking ground on. I only build about 4 homes a year now, guys, maybe 2 to 4. depending on how they fall within the year. Our biggest bandwidth of finances now comes from multifamily, but we're still building homes, guys, today. I'll make $280,000 net on this house, 280. Okay. And I use this spreadsheet. Everything will go through that spreadsheet. Okay. Am I telling you guys that to brag? No, I'm telling you guys this because you guys need to be doing this. You guys need to be implementing this. Okay. Now let's finish this underwriting, guys. Shit, I jacked all this up. Okay, I'll deal with this later. I'll fold these back up and I'll get with you later. Let's get back to what we were doing. Okay. Now, when we go in, guys, our debt service is going to be about 8%. What we're going to need is 368 plus 140 because we want the bank to pay for it for us. So plus $140,000. Okay. So that's $508,000. We're going to take these two items right here. This is a pass-through number, and this is also a pass-through number. This number isn't charged until the house actually sells. You don't get any of these costs incurred till the house sells. So what you need is you need the land paid for, and you need the build paid for. So you need $508,000 is what you need from the bank. Okay? This is what you guys need in order to be zero money out of pocket, guys. Now, some of you guys will end up having to put an escrow deposit down on the lot. You may have to pay for your architecture, engineering, and that stuff is normal, guys. There's probably about $10,000 to $15,000 that you guys will have to put down to be able to build this house. That's where some of our affiliates come into play, where we'll help you get bridge lending with some of, and even some of you guys with higher risk credit. We'll show you guys immediately how to get business credit and how to start going in and executing on business credit from the second you start with us, guys. Because the second you get an LLC, you should start working on business credit immediately. And if you do it the right way, you follow our process, you guys will get a $5,000 to $10,000 credit card from the bank almost instantaneously when you open up your bank accounts. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go over business credit today. Just know that that's available to you. And every single person on this call should be paying attention. The second they get started working with us to starting their business and start working on executing on building business lines of credit, because it's completely different than your personal credit. Has nothing to do with your social security number when you're going out for lending. They might ask you to collateralize it, but if you go in, you can go in and start establishing credit like a brand new 18-year-old college kid going as a freshman into college and starting your credit with a new credit card starting the first day that you get a business line of credit. Now, we need $508,000, guys. You go in and you do on this $508,000, this debt service right here is going to be 8% times 0.08 of 508,000. That's $40,640,000. Okay. Now we're not going to have all of that in debt service. The debt service is going to be closer to about 15 to 20K. Let's call it 20K. Okay. Now, the reason why is because the bank's not going to stuff $508,000 in your bank account. The bank is going to give you draws on this money. Like they'll go in, the first draw is going to be to pay for the land. Okay, this isn't taboo, guys. This isn't something out from outer space. The bank knows, right? They're coming in, they're going to give you $140,000. The first draw on the bank is going to be to pay for that piece of land. Now, once you pay for that land, you're only paying interest on the 140. Then when you pour the foundation, you're paying interest on the foundation. Then when you do the framing, you're paying interest on the land, the foundation, and the framing. And this escalates. And over the course of a 6-month build, you're going to pay about 30% of the entire annualized amount. But let's just take 50% of it. That's going to be about 20K. Your total cost is going to be 20,000. It's going to be 406, right? It's going to be, 508,000, 508 plus the 45,000 plus the 20,000. Okay, that's 573K. Okay, that's your total cost in. Okay, let's subtract that from 751,000 on the resale price. 751. Your net profit is 178. So your net is 178K. How are you doing, guys? How many of you guys in 2025 would like to net an extra $178,000 by the end of the year? You know what I would actually like to do is I'd like to have this house sold by December of next year, have it built, have it sold, and then delay the closing to just after the first and then close on in the first. And then it gives me an entire year to go out and build like a fourplex where I can go out in 2026. I take the money in January of 2000. So that way I don't have the tax liability, because the problem with finishing it at the end of next year, if you finish it in December, you have a tax liability. And so if you roll over to the first of the year, then what you get is the benefit of rolling those taxes over to 2026, and you have all year. Now you can go in and build a little fourplex. You can cost segregate it. You can write it off, and you can pay zero in income taxes. Zero, guys, in income taxes through cost segregation. Okay, that's the benefit of real estate. Okay, now we have $178,000 in net profit. Now, the way this works, guys, is this spreadsheet right here. You're going to do 2 of them. You guys are going to need this. Okay, and here's how banking works. We have an asset. Now, this is where all of you guys need to pay attention the closest, right here, right now. This is why all of you guys showed up today, is right now, to listen to how you get money. Okay, this is how banking works, guys. Okay. You're going to need 2 spreadsheets. You're going to need to fill 2 of them out. Okay? Your resale value is 751. The bank is going to go get comps. Okay? When you go in, they're going to get real comps. What I just did at the beginning of this call, where I spent all that time, I was showing you guys comparable real estate and price per square foot. If you guys go in and just simply duplicate what's already being done in these areas, and you take the price per square foot that homes are already selling at, all you do is you take affirmed areas that have already proven that the resale prices hold in that area for what we're talking about right here. The bank is going to take that set of prints that I have on the floor right here opened up that I just showed you guys. They're going to take that set of prints. You don't go off in a tangent, guys, and build whatever the hell you want. You know, Neela's not going to go build what she wants. Bernadette's not going to go build what she wants. Joe's not going to build what he wants. Brian is not going to go build what he wants. They're going to build exactly what's being built in that area, has affirmation, because they're going to take that set of prints to the bank. They're going to say, Mr. Banker, here's my set of prints. Go ahead and send it to the appraiser. The appraiser is going to pull it up, and they're going to say, oh, well, it's a 2,230 square foot house. Ironically enough, there's another 2,300 square foot house right down the road. There's also another 2,200 square foot house right down the road. And the price per square foot on those homes are $337 on each of them, or $336, $338, $337. And now they're going to sit back and say, this house looks very comparable to the ones that are already selling in this area for that exact same price. Now they're going to send back to the banker. The appraiser is going to send back to the banker an assessed value of $751,000, maybe even more. And so when they do that, they're going to sit back and you're going to tell the banker that you need 508. No, you're not. You're not going to tell the banker that, okay? Because the banker is only going to give you 80% loan to cost. They're only going to give you 80% loan to cost, okay? Now, pay attention here, guys. You can either come up with that 20% or that set 25% out of your own pocket, or you just created equity in a build, guys. What we do is we create equity through what's called land entitlements. Those set of prints just created value on that land. You're going to collateralize the equity that you created in that build to go out and get a loan. The reason you need 2 of these spreadsheets, guys, P.S. by the way, in San Francisco on February 8th, we're going to underwrite these. I'm going to invite you guys to come join me in San Francisco on February 8th, get these spreadsheets electronically, and be able to come in and do this underwriting with us, not just for single family, but in the afternoon for multifamily, guys, because the biggest problem is not building a house. The biggest problem that most of you guys are going to have is not going to be building a house. As soon as you get this first house built, your biggest problem is no longer making money. Your biggest problem is, how do I keep this money from paying it back to the IRS? Because if you make $178,000, $80,000 to $85,000 of that is going to need to go to the IRS. That sucks. You guys put your risk on the line. You guys put your balls on the line. You guys go out there. You put your fear, your money, your mouth, everything on the line. And now the IRS wants to take your courage and tax you at over 40%. Bullshit. It's building multifamily and getting into commercial real estate is not an option, guys. It's a must. Your biggest problem is not building a house. Your biggest problem is once you build a house, How do you keep your money from the IRS? So you're going to be forced to get into multifamily or multi-unit real estate. One of the best tax incentives that the US American people have is what's called cost segregation. It's depreciation of your investment assets. When you depreciate your commercial assets, guys, you can offset them against your W-2 income. You can offset it against your 1099 income. You can offset it against your earned self-employment income, and you can cost segregate it tax-free, guys, tax-free. So when you go in and you do this, you're going to create equity in this bill. On February 8th, you're going to need this spreadsheet. You have to come down and understand this. You guys have to understand the underwriting. It's not hard. It's not algebra. It's not logarithms and cosine, sine, and tangent. It's none of that bullshit. It's adding, subtracting, multiplication, and dividing, guys. It's simple, basic math. That's it. If you pass third grade math, you can do this. Okay? Now, with that said, we come in, and when we go in and we underwrite this, we need two spreadsheets. One spreadsheet is going to be my spreadsheet, my architecture, my engineering. It's going to be my dirt work, my framing, my roof, my dirt, my light fixtures, my plumbing fixtures, my plumbing, my heating and cooling, my electrical, my driveways, my landscaping, everything. This budget is my execution budget, $508,000. Okay? That's what I need to execute on, that 508. That $165 a square foot right here. That 165 a square foot right there. This is a damn mess, I know. That 165 a square foot right there, that's that number here. $508,000. You're going to need a second spreadsheet. The way the banks look at this is they're going to say, Jerome, we'll lend you 80% loan to cost. For some of you guys that are doing it as an owner build, you guys might be able to come in with 5% loan to cost. And what you're going to do is you're going to do a second spreadsheet. And the second spreadsheet that you guys do is going to have the same items that you have right here, but you're going to inflate them because none of us work for free. So you're going to add 15% to your foundation, 15% to your framing, 15% of your dirt work, your electrical, management fees, development fees. You're going to have all those in there, and that cost is going to come out to be maybe about $700,000. And so when you go in and you have a $700,000 cost, the bank is looking at it and they go, okay, $700,000. This person's going to walk into this build with a $50,000 equity stance in this project. They're sitting, okay, the person I'm lending the money to, which is you guys, is going to have $50,000 in equity. Now, what the bank is going to do is say, hey, we will give you 80% loan to cost. So if the bank only gives you 80% of that $700,000 underwriting, they take $700,000 times 0.80. They're willing to give you $560,000. Okay, so you need $508,000. You need. Let me get a better marker. You need $508K. You have a spreadsheet for $508K. This is yours. This is your execution. $508K. Okay. This is the banks. This is our retail value. Okay. You go out, you hire a sophisticated general contractor that does this as a custom build, an entirely different general contractor than the ones you guys will hire. It's called the process of 30. And I'll show you guys how to hire the right general contractors that will be able to walk in and do these builds for you guys. There's 5 different ways to pay a general contractor. I'll go through all 5 ways for you guys and explain them on how to retain a general contractor. If you guys find a video that's called the process of 30 on YouTube, watch it. It's how I hire general contractors, how I hire subcontractors, and it's the way that you'll need to be able to execute on this. Now, the retail value on this is going to come out to be about $700K. Okay, the value of the home is $751K. So the house value is $751K. Okay, you need $508,000. Okay, this isn't taught in school. This is our build cost. Retail. Okay, management fees, development fees. And then you add 15% on every other number in there because no one works for free. You take 80% of this, that's $560,000. So the bank is going to lend 80% loan to cost. That's going to be $560K that the bank's going to approve for your loan. Okay? You only need 508. You're not going to take the 560. You're only going to draw on $508,000. You don't need the rest. You're going to come in. The first draw is the land. You just created equity in your build. So when you go in, the bank looks at it. They have a $751,000 asset. All they're lending is $560,000. The bank has $190,000 in collateralization against that build. How is the bank doing? How secure is the bank? If you default on that finished house and the bank is only into it $560,000 or $506,000 or $508,000, how is the bank doing? Is the bank sitting at a good place? If they go in and sell that house for $750,000, the bank's going to make your profit. So the bank is sitting back going, cool, this is safe. I can go in, I'll lend this person $560,000. They're building me a $751,000 house. They go in and pay us the debt service on this construction loan. Everybody's happy. If they default, we have enough equity in the house that we can go in and sell it for $750,000, and we're at a really good place. Okay? That's called commercial lending. That's what you call investment lending. That's what you call this shit isn't taught in schools. It's bullshit. This is what needs to be taught in schools. Every single high school student should have a full semester of commercial underwriting, because this is life, ladies and gentlemen. Most people don't understand what lending's like. They don't understand this stuff, guys. They don't understand FHA. They don't realize that they can go in there and get 95% of their loan financed FHA. They don't realize that they can go in there and get a 3% loan through FHA lending. Does that make sense? And so the reason I teach this stuff is because this is what you guys need to know when you guys go in, and then everything else from here is management. How many of you guys would love to come in and make us $178,000 this next year building a house?